Hello students, hope you all are doing good. In the previous class we have started our second unit, the conceptual framework of accounting, and today we are going to continue the unit. All of you take your accountancy book, accountancy notebook and your pen, pencil and everything. Don't just watch the video, you must take your notes, you must take your book before watching this video. Got it? And don't never ever skip the video. You must watch from the beginning to the end. Okay, as it is the new subject, you must watch the full video, otherwise you will never understand anything. So you must watch the full video to understand the whole subject. Okay, so let's move on. In the previous class we have started the unit with bookkeeping and introduction, and also we have seen the meaning, definition, features, objectives, advantages and limitations of bookkeeping. So we have covered these topics, and also we have seen the difference between bookkeeping and accounting, and also the relationship among bookkeeping, accounting and accountancy. Do you remember these topics? So it is very necessary to know what it is. Okay, then only you have do the exercises, that means the sums. So now let's move on to today's class. Page number 17, accounting principles. Have you seen 2.4? Follow me when I read. Accounting principles are the basic norms and assumptions developed and established as the basis of accounting system. These principles are adopted by the accountants universally. So accounting principles means it is the basic norm. So what are the things that we need to learn or we need to do in this accounting, which will come under this accounting principles. Okay, தன்மைகள். So it is a basic norm and assumption developed and established as the basis of accounting system. And what are the principles they have in this accounting system, which are universally accepted? Okay, from the whole world, all the accountants they accepted and they made these principles. These accounting principles provide uniformity and consistency in the accounting methods and process. So what are the methods and process that we do or learn from this accountancy? That is uniformity, and it is accepted by the whole universe. Okay, such accounting principles are known as generally accepted accounting principles, that is GAAP. Okay, so what is mean by GAAP? Generally accepted accounting principles. Let's move on to next page, page 18. Accounting principles provide the basic framework within which the accounting records and accounting reports are to be prepared. So this accounting principles is a basic principles that where the accounting records and the reports are to be prepared. So how to prepare, where to prepare, these all the things it will be in the accounting principles. Accounting standards have been issued by national and international regulatory authorities to ensure uniformity of accounting procedure and accounting results. So accounting standards, that means it is accepted there is a set of procedure to follow in the accounting system. So it is issued by national and international regulatory authorities to ensure the uniformity of accounting procedure and accounting result. So wherever you go, you will follow the same thing. Okay, so the whole universe, all the accountants, they accepted to follow the same method and to get the same result in the accounts. These accounting standards and GAAPs, what is GAAP? Generally accepted accounting principles, provide the theoretical base of accounting. So accounting standards and also this GAAP, they provide theoretical base of accounting. Accounting principles may be accounting concepts or accounting conventions. Accounting concept are the basic assumption, whereas convention are the guidelines based upon practice or usage. So accounting concept means it is a basic assumption, and also this convention, that means the guidelines based on the practice or usage. So now accounting concepts are the basic assumptions or conditions upon which accounting has been laid. Accounting concepts are the result of broad consensus, that means broad agreement of accounting standards and GAAP. They agreed, and it is a result of broad unity. Okay, so what are the concept that we are going to learn is universal. Okay, the whole world it accept, and the same concept is followed everywhere. The word concept means a notion, that means an idea or abstraction, quality of dealing with the idea, which is generally accepted. Accounting concepts provide unifying structure to the accounting process and accounting reports. The word convention refers to traditions and usages. The accounting conventions are the usage or practices which are followed as a guide to the preparation of accounting statements. So this accounting convention, that means the main idea, okay, which is it helps to follow and to guide the preparation of accounting statements. The utility of these accounting conventions have been recognized by regulatory authorities of accounting in making financial statements more realistic, reliable, and useful to all concerned parties. So the important accounting concept and conventions are discussed below. So there are 14 topics that we are going to cover today. The basic concepts and conventions of the accounts. So the first topic, business entity concept. Business entity concept. This concept implies that a business unit is separate and distinct from the owner or owners, that is, the persons who supply capital to it. Based on this concept, accounts are prepared from the point of view of the business and not from the owner's point of view. Hence, the business is liable to the owner for the capital contributed by him or her. So, business entity concept, that means it is based on business. Okay, and here they have explained the concept implies business unit is separate from the owner or owners, the person who supplies capital to it. Okay, so அந்த வணிக நிறுவனம் அது அந்த முதல் போடுகிற அந்த உரிமையாளர் இருக்கிறாங்களா அவங்கள்ட்ட இருந்து அது வந்து தனிப்பட்டது, it is separated. And based on this concept, all the accounts that is prepared is in the point of view of business, not on the view of the owner point of view. Okay, ஒரு அந்த முதலாளியோட பார்வையில இருந்து இல்ல, அந்த பிஸ்னஸோட பார்வையில இருந்து தான் இந்த எல்லா டிரான்சாக்ஷனும் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணணும். According to this concept, only business transactions are recorded in the books of accounts. So according to this concept, only all the cash transaction, business transaction, not the owner what are the things that he is doing, the things it will not written in that books of account. The transaction only happened in the business, which are the things will recorded in the book. Personal transaction of the owners are not recorded, but their transaction with business, such as capital contributed to the business or cash withdrawn from the business for the personal use, will be recorded in the books of accounts. So not all the activities of the owners are recorded, but such as the capital, அவர் போட்ட முதல் தொழிலில் எவ்வளோ காசு இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கிறாரு, and also the cash withdrawn from the business for the personal use. So there is a word, there is a terminology that we have learned for this concept. Do you remember the word? Drawings. Okay, so withdrawn for the personal use. If the owner is taking certain amount of money for his personal use, that is called drawings. So that things are also recorded. It implies that the business itself owns assets and owes liability. So அந்த வணிக உருவனம் அதனுடைய சொத்துக்கு உரிமை கொண்டதாகவும் அதனுடைய கடனுக்கு அது பொறுப்பானதாகவுமே கருதப்படுகிறது. And next, second one, money measurement concept. As we have been looking the important accounting concept, the second one, money measurement concept. So what are the points that we are looking here is, remember that it is universally accepted one. Okay, this concept implies that only those transactions which can be expressed in the terms of money are recorded in the accounts. Since money serves as the medium of exchange, transactions expressed in the money are recorded, and the ruling currency of a country is the measuring unit for accounting. So money measurement concept, as business means we know it's all it's all happening in terms of money, right? Money is the medium of exchange for all the transactions. So what are the transaction which is held for money, that should be recorded. And also all the ruling currency of the country is the measuring unit of accounting. Transaction which do not involve money will not be recorded in the books of accounts. For example, working condition in the workplace, strike by employees, efficiency of the management, etc. will not be recorded in the books, as they cannot be expressed in terms of money. So here they have said that the things which happened, or the things which involves in the money, which surrounded by the money, that all the transaction must be recorded. The if business means it is not only full and full money. Okay, there are many other things which involved, like the services of workers, or the condition of the working place, it may be a weather or something, and the strike by the employees, or the efficiency of the management, that things, the services, it may not be recorded. We cannot record it because we cannot express it in terms of money. It helps in understanding of the state of affairs of the business, as money serves as a common measure by means of which heterogeneous facts about the business are recorded. For example, next page, if business has 5 computers, 2 tables and 3 chairs, the assets cannot be added to give useful information unless they are expressed in monetary terms. Rupees 1 lakh for computers, 10,000 for tables, and 1,500 for chairs. Okay, so If the money is, as we said, it is a common measure by means um, which of heterogeneous facts about the business are recorded. So the examples they have given, right, they expressed these all things in monetary terms, okay, but it is not useful. What are the assets that we have, the worth is like this, they will not write that one. So it is not necessary to adding these all things as a information. And the next, going concern concept. It is a basic assumption that business is a going concern and will continue its operation for a foreseeable future. So it is a basic assumption that this business, or the business that we start, will ever last, right? அது நம்ம இப்போ முடிக்க போறது கிடையாது. It will continue in future. It will continue. So going concern concept, it is a constant concept. Going concern concept influences accounting practices in relation to valuation of assets and liabilities, depreciation of the fixed assets, treatment of outstanding and prepaid expenses, and acquired and unearned revenues. For example, assets are generally valued at historical cost. So all the assets, when we buy, we will just write for 15,000 we have bought the furniture is an asset for the company, right? So what are the historical cost means the buying cost. Any increase or decrease in the value of asset is in the short period is ignored. So if something happened or something, if the years passed means the value of the asset, the value of the future furniture or some other things, it will decrease, right? So it is not considered here. So the any increase or decrease in the value of the asset in short period is ignored. And then cost concept. An asset is recorded in the books on the basis of historical cost. That means all the assets. What is meant by asset? சொத்துக்கள். ஓகே, ஒரு நிறுவனத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய சொத்துக்கள், அது ஒரு பொருளாக இருக்கலாம், அல்லது ஏதாவது நிலமாக இருக்கலாம், ஏதாவது ஒரு லேண்டு, ஃபர்னிச்சர், எனி குட்ஸ் ஆர் எனி திங், ஓகே, which which is which gives certain hope that we have something, okay, we can earn from it, that is called asset. And that is the acquisition cost. Cost of acquisition will be the base for all further accounting. It doesn't mean that the asset will always be shown at cost. It is recorded at cost at the time of its purchase, but it is systematically reduced in the book value by charging depreciation. So it is recorded at the cost when it's purchased, that is historical cost. Okay, நம்ம வாங்குற நேரம் என்ன காஸ்ட் அதை தான் வந்து நம்ம வந்து எழுதி வைப்போம் ஒரு அசட்டுக்கு. பட் சிஸ்டமேட்டிக்கலி அதோட வேல்யூ வந்து இயர் பாஸ் ஆக வந்து டிக்ரீஸ் ஆகிட்டே இருக்கும், அதை வந்து நம்ம நோட் பண்ணுறதே கிடையாது. The cost concept has following limitations. In an inflationary situation, that means a price rising situation, when prices of commodity increase, valuing the asset at historical cost may not represent the true position of the business. So during this rise in the, whether the price of the commodities are increased, that time the value of the asset may not be the true value that when we bought that time the price may be high, but now because of this certain inflationary situation, cards may be increase or may be decrease. Okay, so the true position of the business, it does not represent there. The result of business units established at different dates are not comparable if assets are recorded on historical basis. Assets which do not have acquisition costs such as human resources are not recognized under this concept. So here மனிதனுடைய வளங்கள் போன்ற அதனுடைய அவங்களோட காஸ்ட் அதெல்லாம் அந்த ஒரு பொருள் செய்யறோம்னா அதோட அடக்க விலையில அவனுடைய சர்வீஸ் எல்லாம் வந்து அவங்க போடுறது கிடையாது. And next one, dual concept. Dual aspect concept is very very important. According to this concept, every transaction or events has two aspects. That means dual effect, இரட்டைத்தன்மை. For example, when Arun starts a business with cash 5 lakh, on the other hand the business gets cash of 5 lakh, and on the other hand a liability arises, that is the business has to pay Arun a sum of 5 lakh. Okay, so here you can see two types. As we have seen, dual aspect, that means two aspects. So one is the transaction. Arun starts a business with cash 5 lakh. So 5 lakh க்கு அருண் வந்து ஒரு business வந்து தொடங்குறாரு. So at the same time we are getting 5 lakh in our hand. Okay, so அது ஒரு வருமானமா நமக்கு வந்து வருது. In the same time to as a business, to the company, they has to repay it, right? Repay the amount of 5 lakh. So it is liability. So அதே காசு வர நேரம் அதே சமயம் நம்ம திருப்ப கொடுக்க வேண்டியது இருக்கிறனால the liability also arises. So the business has to pay Arun a sum of 5 lakh rupees. So there are two concepts. When the cash increase, there also a liability also increases. This is the concept which recognizes the fact that every debt there is a corresponding and equal credit. So ஒவ்வொரு டெபிட்டுக்கும் அதுக்கு நிகரான ஒரு கிரெடிட் வந்து இருக்கிறது. This is the basis of the entire system of double entry book system. So in the next lesson we will start doing this double entry bookkeeping system. So under this we will learn all those things. From this concept arises the basic accounting equation. So what is meant by equation? In all the maths and all will have equation, right? So the same thing, accounting also we have equation, that is capital plus liability is equal to assets. Assets is equal to capital plus liability. So based on this equation we will do all the sums. Okay, double entry bookkeeping system. So so let's move on to next one. Periodicity concept. This concept deals with preparing accounts for the particular period. As the properties, investors, creditors, employees and the government are interested in knowing the performances of the business unit periodically, it becomes necessary to select a particular period, normally 1 year, for measuring performance. So periodicity concept, that means it is according to the period. So the people, those who are interested in knowing the performance of the business, they must we must available that means we must make the account, prepare the financial statement for 1 year. Okay, it may be from March to April, or April to March, or January to February. For 1 year we must calculate and we must prepare the financial statement. So these financial statements are prepared after every accounting period and not at the end of its life. So ஒரு business துவங்கி அது 10 வருஷம் 15 வருஷம் தாண்டி அந்த business நம்ம முடிக்கிறோம்னா அப்ப நம்ம மேக் பண்றது கிடையாது. It happens continuously for every year. Okay, so next page number 20. This periodicity concept. This concept helps the business in distribution of income to the owners and comparing and evaluation performance of different periods. So this concept, it helps to distribute the income to the owners. So the owners, they may invest certain amount in the business, so it is necessary to repay them. So this for preparing statement for 1 year, it helps to check the financial position and to repay the liabilities. Okay, next one, matching concept. According to this concept, revenues during an accounting period are matched with expenses incurred during that period to earn the revenue during that period. So matching concept, that means nothing but all the expenses relating to a particular period, that means within the 1 year, it is matched with the revenues relating to that period. So all the expenses and revenues must be matched. Periodicity concept fixes the time frame for measuring performance and determining financial status. All expenses paid during the period are not considered, but only the expenses related to the accounting periods are considered. So the expenses paid is not considered, but the expenses related to the accounting period are considered. On the basis of this concept, adjustments are made for outstanding and prepaid expenses and acquired and unearned revenues. Also, due provisions are made for depreciation of the fixed assets, bad debts, etc. Relating to the accounting period, thus it matches the revenue earned during an accounting period with the expenses incurred during that period to earn revenues before sharing any profit or loss. So for 1 year, they must check the depreciation and bad debts, that means வராக்கடன், நமக்கு இதுவரை வராமல் இருக்கிற கடன்கள் அதெல்லாத்தையும் நம்ம பார்க்கணும். And also to match or to check whether the revenue and the earned the revenue that we earned and also the expenses which are there in the business, and how we can make this profit and loss account. Okay, so let's move on to next. And the 8th one, realization concept. According to realization concept, any change in the value of an asset is to be recorded only when the business realizes it. When assets are recorded at historical value, any change in the value is to be accounted only when it realizes. So in this realization concept, if you are buying an asset, okay, for example, if you are buying an furniture, and if we need to remake it, or if something happened, or actually the value or decreasing year by year, the value of the furniture must be decreasing, but we will not write it the decreasing value. Okay, we will just the historic, when we buy that amount only, we will just maintain it. And here it is said that when we realized, okay, so we need to maintain that, or we need to remake that. So if something, if we realize only, we will just change in the value of the asset. Okay, and when the assets are recorded at historical value, any change in the value is to be accounted when it is realizes. Next one, objective evidence concept. Objective evidence concept requires that all accounting transaction recorded should be based on objective evidence. That means it is like documentary evidence. என்ன ஒரு transaction நீங்க பண்ணாலும் அதுக்கு ஒரு evidence இருக்கணும். For example, the objective evidence includes documentary evidence like cash receipt, invoices, etc. It ensures authenticity, accuracy, and reliability of transaction entered in the books of accounts. So, if we get some bills, right, we need to keep it. We need to safeguard it. Okay, so according to that bill, we need to record everything. So it may be a receipt, cash receipt, invoices, or any document. So according to documentary evidence, all the transaction must be recorded. So accounting is the another concept is objective evidence concept. The next one, accrual concept. According to accrual concept, the effects of the transaction are recognized on mercantile basis, etc. Example, when they occur and not when cash is paid or received. Revenue is recognized when it is earned, and expenses are recognized when they are incurred. All expenses and revenues related to the accounting period are to be considered irrespective of the fact that whether revenues are received in cash or not, whether expenses are paid in cash or not. So accrual concept means, based on the cash concept. So for example, credit sale is recognized as sale though the amount has been received immediately. Rent for the month of March 2018 has not been paid, and if the accounting period is 1/4/2017 to 31/3/2018, it will still be recorded as an expense for the accounting year. So 2017 or 18, because it has become due. So if a year start with 1/4/17 and it ends with 31/3/2018, in 2018, if we are not paid the rent, it is recorded as the அந்த ஆண்டுக்குரிய ஒரு செலவாக, ஒரு liability-ஆக இது வந்து கருதப்படும். Next, let's move on to next topic. So the 11th concept, convention of consistency. The consistency convention implies that the accounting policies must be followed consistently from one accounting period to another. So it must be continue from one period to another. The result of different years will be comparable only when the same accounting policies are followed from year to year. For example, if a firm follows the straight line method of charging depreciation since its purchase or construction, the method should be followed without any change. However, it does not mean changes are not possible. Okay, so தொடர்ச்சியாக ஒரு 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 அக்கௌண்டிங் சிஸ்டத்தில் இருக்கிறது வந்து அக்கௌண்டிங் பாலிசிஸ் மஸ்ட் பி ஃபாலோட் consistency, that means continuously it must be followed. So ஒரே விதமான கணக்கியல் கொள்கைகள் பின்பற்றப்பட்டதா வெவ்வேறு ஆண்டுகளில் நம்ம வந்து முடிவுகள் வந்து எடுக்கும்போது அது எப்படி நம்ம பின்பற்றி இருக்கிறோம் என்பதை பார்க்கறதுக்கு வந்து நமக்கு உதவி செய்யும். So in a company, if you are if we have purchased something and we must calculate the depreciation, அதோட தேய்மானம். If you are buying an asset, as I said, the same value will not be after 5 years, right? We just get the work from that machine, or the depreciation will arises there. அது வந்து அதோட தேய்மானம், அது வந்து அதுல இருந்து நம்ம உழைப்பை எடுத்திருக்கிறோம். ஸோ அதோட வேல்யூ வந்து கம்மி ஆயிடும். For that there are many methods that we followed to charge, okay, the depreciation. So there may be a change, or there may not be a change in the depreciation. So to the convention of consistency, so continuously we need to record all the transaction. Next, page number 22. Change in accounting policy can be incorporated in the following circumstances. So if we are changing the accounting policy, so there must in சில சமயங்கள் நம்ம சேஞ்ச் பண்ண வேண்டியது வரும். ஓகே, ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், டு கம்ப்ளை வித் ப்ரொவிஷன்ஸ் ஆஃப் லா. ஸோ ஏதாவது சட்ட விதிகளை பூர்த்தி செய்யணும்னா நமக்கு வந்து நம்ம மாற்றிக்க வேண்டியது இருக்கும். டு கம்ப்ளை வித் accounting standards issue. So, and the if some, as we have seen the accounting standards, if they have issued any problem, we need to change it to reflect true or fair view of statements of affair of business. So அந்த வணிகத்தினுடைய உண்மையான மற்றும் நேர்மையான தன்மையை பிரதிபலிப்பதற்காகவும் this convention of consistency is needed. So next one, page number 21. Okay, here they have explained in that picture there are the accounting principles, accounting concept, and you can see 14 concept. Okay, business entity means owner and business are two different entities. Money measurement, only monetary transactions are recorded. Going concern, business will be continue for foreseeable future. And next one, cost, assets are recorded at cost price. Dual aspect, every transaction has two aspect, debit aspect and credit aspect. Periodicity, accounts are closed at the end of accounting period, it is generally 1 year. Matching, expenses relating to a particular period are to be matched with the revenues relating to that period. Realization, objective evidence, accrual, consistency, full disclosure, materiality, conversation. Okay, so we need to see 3 more topics, so let's move on. Page number 22. Conversation of full disclosure, it implies that the accounts must be prepared honestly at all material information should be disclosed in accounting statement. This is important because the management is different from the owners in most of the organizations. So the disclosure should be full, fair and adequate so that the users of the financial statements can make correct assumption about the financial position and performance of the business unit. Okay, so convention of full disclose, அவங்க வந்து வெளிப்படைத்தன்மை வந்து ரொம்ப சரியாக இருக்கணும். அவங்க வந்து உண்மை தன்மைகளை வந்து வெளிப்படுத்தணும். அந்த கணக்குல இருந்து எல்லாமே உண்மை மெட்டீரியலா வந்து அது வந்து இருக்கணும். Because most of the management, the owner and the organization, they are different. So some people they invest money and they will give to some people hands to follow it. Okay, அவங்க காசு இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணி இன்னொரு ஆள் கிட்ட அதை நடத்த கொடுத்துருவாங்க. ஸோ அவங்க வந்து what are the things financial statements they do, they must give the correct statement, then only they can give the correct financial position. Okay, next one, convention of materiality. According to this convention, financial statements should disclose all material items which might influence the decision of the users of financial statement. Hence, any item which is not significant and it is not relevant to the users need not to be disclosed in the financial statements. This principle is basically an exception to the full disclosure principle. The term materiality is subjective in nature. Materiality depends on the amount involved in the transaction, size of the business, nature of information, requirements of the person making decision. An item material to one person may be immaterial to another person. So relatively important and significant monetary terms are to be recorded and disclosed in the financial statement. So what are the important terms? It should be the transaction should be recorded. Okay, so when we if we want to disclose the statement, it should be significant and all the what are the things that you are recording, it must be true. Okay, convention of conversation and prudence. This is the last point. It is a policy of caution of playing safe. While recording the business transaction, one has to anticipate no income but provide for all possible losses. So, convention of conservatism or prudence means முன்னெச்சரிக்கையா இருக்கணும். So, ஏதாவது it is a policy of caution, முன்னெச்சரிக்கை, அது வந்து ரொம்ப சேஃபா வந்து நம்ம பிசினஸ்ல இருக்கணும். And if ஏதாவது நம்ம வந்து ஒரு டிரான்சாக்ஷன் பதிகிறோம்னா அது வந்து ஒரு லாபத்தை எதிர்நோக்காமல் ஆனால் எல்லா நட்டங்களையும் ஒதுக்கீடு செய்ய வேண்டும் என்பதில் கருத்தில் கொள்ள வேண்டும். ஸோ இட் மஸ்ட் பி not only giving or providing the income, at the same time it should be cautious of paying all the losses. Okay, என்ன நஷ்டம் வந்தாலும் அதெல்லாம் முதல்ல அடைக்கிறதுக்கு தகுதியா இருக்கணும். For example, closing stock in the factory is valued 35,000 at cost price and 25,000 its realizable price. But while recording in the books, the value 25,000 will be considered being lower of the two. According to the realization concept, any increase in the value is not to be accounted unless it has materialized. The conservatism convention puts further restriction on it. Any unrealized gain is not to be anticipated, but provision can be made against all possible losses. Okay, so if there is a factory and in its closing stock ஒரு வருஷத்துல அவங்க முடிக்கும் போது அவங்களோட closing stock வந்து 35,000 and the cost price is 25,000 at the realizable price. Okay, so அவங்க வந்து ஆனா அது வந்து விற்கும் போது அவங்களுக்கு வந்து 25,000 தான் கிடைக்கும் அப்படின்னு இருக்கிறபோது while they are recording in the value of 25,000 will be being lower than 2. Okay, and அது வந்து அந்த அதோட மதிப்பு வந்து குறைவுது. ஸோ எந்த ஒரு மதிப்பும் அதிகரிக்காத போது பெறப்படாத நிலையை வந்து நம்ம வந்து இதில் கொண்டு வர முடியாது. ஸோ முன்னெச்சரிக்கை வந்து மிக மிக முக்கியம். Going concept, conversation of consistency and accrual concept are considered as fundamental accounting assumption. Okay, so that's all. We have completed half of this lesson and one more page to go that we will do in the next class. Okay students, now let's write the class work. Before that, let's revise what we have learned. Accounting principles, and we have seen the concept and conventions, business entity concept, money measurement concept, going concern concept, cost concept, dual aspect concept, periodicity concept, matching concept, realization concept, objective evidence concept, accrual concept, convention of consistency, convention of full disclose, convention of materiality, convention of conservatism and prudence. And what is business entity concept? Owner and the business are two different entities. Owner is different from the management. Money measurement concept, only money transaction are recorded in the transaction. Then going concern concept, business will continue for a foreseeable future. It is a continuing process as well as it is not end up in present. It expects the future advantages. And cost concept, assets are recorded at cost price. Dual aspect, every transaction has two aspects, debit aspect and credit aspect. Periodicity concept, accounts are closed at the end of the accounting period, generally 1 year. Matching concept, expenses relating to a particular period are to be matched with the revenues relating to that period. All the expenses are matched with the revenues. And realization concept, revenue should be recorded only when it is realized. Objective evidence, every transaction must have a supporting evidence. Accrual concept, that is money transaction is recorded when it is entered into into or not when settlement takes place. Convention of consistency, accounting rules and practices should be continuously observed. Convention of full disclosure, accounts must disclose full and fair information. Convention of materiality, relatively important and significant monetary terms are to be recorded and disclosed in the financial statements. And the last one, convention of conservatism or prudence. While recording transactions, only the prospective losses and not the prospective income should be considered. So these are the points which comes under the accounting concept. So now let's move on to write our classwork. The remaining part will continue in next video. Okay. Now let's all of you take your classwork. Classwork, write today's date. Already we have written first two questions in your book, page number 25. Very short answer, we have written two. Now going to write the third one. What is full disclosure principle of accounting? Accounts must disclose full and fair information. It implies that the accounts must be prepared honestly and all material information should be disclosed in the accounting statement. This is important because the management is different from the owners in most of the organization. So what is meant by full disclosure principle? That means it implies the honesty of all the information, because in most of the management, the owner is different from the organization. So in a honest way we need to record all the statements. The next question, write a brief note on consistency assumption. Are you writing? Okay, write neatly. The consistency convention implies that the accounting policies must be followed consistently from one accounting period to another. Accounting rules and practices should be continuously observed. So all the accounting policies must be followed continuously from one period to another period. The things which carried out this period should be come with the next year. Okay, the closing stock of this year may be the opening stock of the next year. So it is a continuous process. So write it down. One more question to write. I hope you all are writing. Write neatly. So next, short answer questions. What is matching concept? Why should a business concern follow this concept? So matching concept, according to this concept, expenses relating to a particular period are not to be matched with revenues related to that period. This concept is based on accrual concept and periodicity concept. On the basis of this concept, adjustments are made for outstanding and prepaid expenses and acquired and unearned revenues. Also, due provisions are made for depreciation of the fixed assets, bad debits, etc. relating to the accounting period. Thus, it matches the revenues earned during an accounting period with the expense incurred during that period to earn revenues before sharing any profit or loss. So just pause the video and write it, okay, if you don't get time. Now let's see the homework. Today's homework: study the classwork and write answer for the following question. What is matching concept? Why should a business consent to follow this concept? Write this question in your homework note. So you have to study the classwork and you have to complete this question. So that's all for today. Utilize your time at home and learn the things that uh, I give you to study. Okay. So take care. Thank you.